Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, this is a very interesting book by Dr. Lak Zardari, who is no more alive in this world. That is regarding the role of Sindh in the making of Pakistan, printed and published by Sindhi Adbi Board 2-3 decades ago. This book throws a deep light on the various aspects of the movement of Pakistan, and especially after the separation of Sindh from Bombay, the movement for Pakistan gained further impetus. And in fact, if Sindh would not have been separated from Bombay, the possibility of Pakistan's existence would have been very difficult possibility. Besides this, in this book there are certain very interesting facts about which I like to share with my friends and the world over, that the title of Qaid-e-Azam was given to our great leader by the students of Aligarh Muslim University, especially the Sindhi Students Federation of Aligarh Muslim University in 1930. At that time, there were hardly 50-60 Sindhi Muslims from the Sindh who were studying there. But Khurshid Sheikh was one of the leaders, and Khurshid Sheikh is of the family of Achara Karpalani, whose father, uncle and family members converted to Islam. Shahid Abdul Rahim and Shahid Abdul Karim. Shahid Abdul Rahim was from Hyderabad. He was martyred at Khost in Afghanistan, and Shahid Abdul Karim was martyred at Tripoli, Trablus, in the war against Italy in 1911. These two brothers. So Sheikh Khurshid was from their family, and he was a student over there. So he arranged a program for the birthday of the Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah Sahab, where there was a cake on which it was inscribed Qaid-e-Azam. When the cake was cut, Jinnah Sahab was very happy, and then it was announced that he is the Qaid-e-Azam. And apart from Khurshid Sheikh Sahab, one of my uncle maternal grandfather, Abdullah Chana, was a student of Aligarh, and he used to tell me that he was class fellow of Dr. Ashraf, who was leader of the Communist Party later on. And then one of my maternal uncle, Zaid Channa, who later became judge in the High Court, he also studied there, and he was one of the leaders of the Muslim Student Federation. And when Raja Mahmud Abad came to Karachi in 1938, he had arranged a function. Then there was another Abdul Rasul Channa, one of my uncle, who also gave me a book of on conquest of Spain by Sheikh Abdul Majid Sindhi in Sindhi language, when Sheikh Sahib had given that book to him as a gift at Aligarh. And he had also got that binding of that Quran Sharif, which was written with the handwritten of my great-grandfather Khalifa Muhammad Siddiq, who had died at Hadida in 1860, the Rosemary steamer. And so that is part of history. Later on, Sheikh Khurshid, I happened to meet him in 1960 when we had a meeting of Sindh Democratic Front, and there Sheikh Majid Sindhi was made as president, Hafiz Qureshi secretary, me and Luqman al-Laghari worked day and night for Sindh Democratic Front. And this Sheikh Khurshid was a member of Sindh Assembly and West Pakistan Assembly, and he had also voted against the West Pakistan bill, and the bill was passed regarding separation of Sindh from one unit, which was supported by J.M. Said, Piralai Baksh, Abdullah Mijatoi and Sheikh Khurshid, these four people. So this is part of history which I wanted to share with you. And then when Qaid-e-Azam came to tour of Sindh, Sheikh Khurshid was with him. When I was a young boy of 1960, at Sakhar, my father was manager in Cumberland Estates. We went to Jacobabad, stayed in a bungalow of Ahmad Khan Sabayo, a young landlord, and we stayed in his bungalow. And when we took breakfast, the plates were very beautiful and the cutlery was very fine. He told me that this cutlery had been kept safe. Qaid-e-Azam had visited Jacobabad in 1938 and 40 he had stayed there. And then nobody had used that cutlery, and that room was locked. And me and my father, Abdul Karim Chana, we stayed there for one day. So this is part of history. And then that day I was reading a book, and there's a sarai of Adam Khan Power, where Jinnah Sahab and other people, they came over here, and that photograph is also in my book, Ode to Full Moon. So this is history which I am sharing, and I can understand that these days people are not much interested in old history of the olden days, and everybody is telling me that I am writing obituaries and history of dead people. But I think that tomorrow I won't be alive, so people will be speaking in the same vein, but at least I am trying to share history and a proper perspective as to how Sindh supported Pakistan movement and how Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the great leader, was given the title of Quaid-e-Azam, which is being mistakenly referred to some other people. Thank you very much, sir, for listening to my lecture on this title of Quaid-e-Azam. Thank you very much.